Well, time check is 14 minutes past 8 o'clock in the morning. My name is Priva Elibaz. Welcome back from the Twitter Jabs 1. This is Twitter Jabs 2, and of course the conversation continues in regard to the legacy of General Elly Tumwine, and of course the barrier arrangements as have been communicated by the government, and that was through the ICT Minister Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, as well as the defense spokesperson of UPDF, that is Afande Brigadier General, that is Felix Kulaije. Now, still looking at late General Elly Tumwine as an individual, his early childhood stems back from Burunga in Bara district, and he was actually born on April 12th, I beg your pardon, 1954, and he went to Burunga Primary School, Bara High School, went to St. Henry Institute of, people know it as Shack, yes, and actually in a brief message how it all unraveled started last week on Thursday, when President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni did tweet on his official Twitter and announced the demise of General Elly Tumwine, and briefly stated that he actually also taught him at Burunga Primary School in 1967. And of course, as they mourn the passing of General Elly Tumwine, as we all mourn the passing of General Elly Tumwine, it's nothing short of a miracle that he actually lived to the age of 68. Like I mentioned earlier on in our Twitter Jabs 1, his childhood was quite interesting. He cheated death not once, not twice, not thrice, but 4 times, yes? And actually had about 3 snake bites that nearly took his life when he was younger. Then there was also a lightning that struck the house that he was staying in with his siblings and parents, and it actually killed the elder brother in that fateful strike, while his younger brother died, months later. So for him, living up to 68 years of age is something that is, very, very interesting to see. And I feel like, based on the achievements and the contributions that he has made for Uganda, I feel like he has achieved his purpose. But looking at some of the things that he was mostly interested in, it's not even just about the military. He was into fine art. He was into photography as well. He used to be referred to as the campus photographer, and he did so much to do with fine art and politics as well. He somehow worked with both of them simultaneously. Well, on standby right now is Afande Felix Kulaije, who is the defense spokesperson of the Uganda People's Defense Force, and we're going to be speaking to him about the legacy of General Elly Tumwine, as well as the barrier arrangements as they've already been, communicated by the government. Well, good morning, Afande.
Good morning to you.
Happy to have you on the show, Afande.
I'm humbled to be with you.
Okay, well, the very first question that I'm going to ask you, as someone who has worked closely with the late General Elly Tumwine, what is that one thing that you always remember him for?
He always wanted to mentor. Each time he met you, he had information to share of something new he has found in his research. General Tumwine always did research on a lot of things. Environment, farming, health, organizations, name it. He did the research.
He did all that. That's the only one thing that you always remember him for?
No, there are many. For me, I could describe him in the following words. Tumwine the teacher, Tumwine the researcher, Tumwine the singer, Tumwine the artist, Tumwine the fashion designer, Tumwine the farmer, Tumwine the soldier, Tumwine the freedom fighter.
Amazing, amazing. Well, Afande, there was a press statement that you released that was actually signed by you, and in that press statement, you did lay out the program from the official vigil to the Requiem Mass that is going to happen today and up until the barrier tomorrow. But what is the latest? Is the Requiem Mass still going to happen at Koloro Ceremony Grounds at 10 a.m.?
Actually, I was corrected. The Anglicans call it Requiem service.
Okay.
Mass is a Catholic word. So yes, the service is at 10 o'clock in the Koloro Ceremonial Ground. We expect the public to be assembled by now. And indeed, the public is invited. There was a tweet from NP on Nile Post saying the public was not invited, only those who had done COVID test. No, that's not correct. Everybody is free to come because Koloro, as you know, is sufficient to handle all of us.
Yes.
And those who come to Koloro will be guided where to go according to their status, whether they have been tested for COVID or not, they will be shown where to go.
Well, Afande, is there going to be any... Yes?
Pardon me?
Yes, I wanted to ask you, Afan, is there going to be any COVID-19 testing going on, screening, before the general public can access Kololo ceremonial grounds today?
No, not at all. They don't have to.
SOPs, a mask, a national ID, anything that the public should keep in mind before they head over to Kololo ceremonial grounds today?
Of course, in Kololo, we shall follow the standard procedures of Minister of Health.
Oh, okay, okay.
ID, not a must.
Well, Afande, for the benefit of Ugandans, why won't General Elly Tumwine's body actually be taken to Parliament, despite him being the longest-serving member of Parliament in Uganda?
Well, of course, we as UPDF do not control Parliament. The parliamentary program will continue as usual. We are guided that what will happen is that after burial, there will be a session dedicated to him, where tribute will be paid by members of Parliament.
Yes.
And then from Kololo, we are going to fly him to his village home in Rwemikoma, in the Kazo district, where we intend to accord him the full honors of a general.
Does that mean he's going to have to be accorded a state funeral, or he will not?
No. State funerals are above us.
Because that's one of the things that Ugandans were speaking on and saying, you know, he's a man of so many achievements. If the president decided to decree and say, you know what, he should be accorded a state funeral, it can happen. So I think as Ugandans, we need clarity on that. Is it something that is going to happen?
Well, the Ministry of Defense is going to bury our own.
Yes.
That's the arrangement. If of course, it would be the entire government machinery, flags would be flying at half-mast, all those.
Well, Afande, let's talk about the controversies that have surrounded General Elly Tumwine. Some Ugandans, you know, have so many accusations from talking about how he acquired the Normal Gallery in Nakasero and so many things that they have to say about him. What do you have to say about that, Afande? The splits that happened as a result of his death, yes.
Sorry? And what?
The split that was brought about as a result of his demise, because we saw people actually celebrate him, and we also saw people not say so many nice words about him.
I think people who are extraordinary will always attract the split you have seen. In my humble view, General Tumwine was extraordinary. He indeed attracted friends as much as foes.
Yes.
Number two, there have been talks about the things he acquired, like Nomugai, and how he acquired it. I personally don't have information, so I cannot discuss that matter with Nomugai. However, I would prefer that as a people, we celebrate a person who has done things for the country, someone who has lived a full life as you are describing with your colleague before he came on air, rather than running for the negatives, and we want to obscure the good things he did, which in my humble view, far outmatch the negatives we would like to cut.
Yes. But Afande, what message can Ugandans, more importantly, men in uniform, what message can they take from how his statements back in November 2020 affected him as a person and his legacy? How can men in uniform, or what message can they pick from this moving forward?
First of all, I wanted to clarify on those statements.
Yes.
What you stated is a truism. It's a statement of fact that when you threaten a police officer, he has a right to shoot you first. I think many of us have seen what has happened in the United States of America.
Yes.
These police officers have been shooting people, and I want to tell you, I think only one has been convicted. The others, the state clears them. So it's important that when we regard this statement, we extract it from politics, we extract it from sentiment, and look at it in terms of the legal establishment, how it goes. It's only in this country that you have a collar of an officer of government and you go home scot-free. You remember I was assaulted in 2009 when I was in the full military uniform. And I swear that was a sentence to death for the person who had done it.
Yes.
Yeah, so for me, what General Tumwine stated was a statement of fact.
Police has the right to use force if they are in imminent danger of their lives.
Absolutely. You remember even in Tanzania in the last election,
yes,
the Minister of Internal Affairs stated in the parliament, he said, I repeat in his words, tutawapiga.
Tutawapiga, yes.
These are not, we shall beat you. These are not political statements. They are statements of fact based on the law.
So it's more of Ugandans actually understanding their law as opposed to just reacting out of emotion.
That's number one. Number two, I think we democratized it too fast. Yes, the revolution democratized the country before the citizens became democratic in their mindset.
Yes, the mindset hadn't changed yet.
No, you can see if somebody meets you on the road, he's the one in the wrong to insult you instead of the fellow apologizing.
Well, Afande.
So I think, yes, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead and finish. You think?
I think it's about our mindset. And for me, I would like to remember General Tumwine as a man of many talents, as a man who loved his country, and we as soldiers should emulate him in the love and respect he accorded the UPDF.
Okay. Well, Afande, what message can, at least most importantly, the young generation, because from the life of General Elly Tumwine, we see that he struggled so much to give the future generations a better space in Uganda. So what message can the young generation pick up from this, even in relation to even working with the police or even engaging with the police in any future demonstrations that they plan on having?
First and foremost, from him, what do we learn? His father died when he was young. But he did promise God that he would manage. And the managing he did. So when you first anniversary, at whatever age, be sure you can make it. It's a question of resilience and focus.
Yes.
Secondly, even when comfortable, when there is a need to change the situation you are living in, hold your sleeves and get involved. When General Tumwine saw the need to liberate the country, he abandoned the comfort of being an officer of the army, of government, and went to the bush to change the situation. Thirdly, when you go into something, give it all your all, give it all your best, you will see the product.
Yep.
Now, the young people who are, in terms of demonstration is a right. But please, let's not mix demonstration with rioting. Demonstrations are legal, and that's why we require as government everybody to involve the police if you want to demonstrate. And I want to give you an example. This year we had the Africa Liberation Day, 25th of May, and we wanted to march from the Constitutional Square all the way to Kololo. The police said no. You are going to march, but within Kololo area because of the standard operating procedures of COVID-19. I am a general. I could have said no. What are these fellows talking about? We complied with the instructions of the police.
Well, Afande, yes, I do. Afande, let's talk about the fact that General Elly Tumwine, of course, was the first person. History will remember him for firing the first shot in the Ruwero Bush War. Is there going to be any monument as UPDF that you're going to, put up in remembrance of General Elly Tumwine for his achievements that he has, brought forth, at least in the UPDF fraternity?
Certainly, we are planning to build our military museum at Katonga.
Yes.
Certainly, we have a position in that museum.
Well, Afande, any special message to the Ugandans who are watching you right now? As we wind up,
yes,
and based also on the government program that was issued in regards to the barrier arrangements for General Elly Tumwine.
First of all, I would like to thank all Ugandans who have given us support. Messages, those who have made their own contribution to the family, those who supported me when he was unwell, the doctors in Mulago Cancer Institute, the Professor Rule in Nairobi. That man deserves a medal for what he did. Yeah, he has been doing for all Ugandans who go there. We want to salute all those Ugandans who have stood with us, who believe that Gen Tumwine made a contribution. My message to all of us is that give your country your best. Love your country more than you love yourself. Your country will honor you.
Okay, Afande, as before I let you go, I just have one final question left for you. Now we see that General Elly Tumwine was actually airlifted to Nairobi Aga Khan Hospital. Does that say something about our health facilities in Uganda as you wrap up?
Of course it does. Of course it does. And what, however, I would like to observe before you talk about health facilities, the individuals, there are some individuals in the medical profession that are very, very tremendous human beings. Indeed, anybody who goes to Mulago will tell you they have received the best, more than they ever expected. However, I think our years of turmoil had an effect on our side as the public workers.
Yes.
Some individuals don't give their work what they should do. Others have an attitude of porters. We don't do the work out of love, but out of mere earning. Three, the facilities in Mulago are sufficient. I have no doubt about them myself. It's only how we utilize them.
How we utilize them.
Yes.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Afande, this morning.
The pleasure is mine, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Okay. Well, I've been joined by Felix Kulaije, who is Brigadier General, Defense Spokesperson of the Uganda People's Defense Force. Together, we've been talking about part of the legacy of General Elly Tumwine, as well as the burial arrangements as have been communicated by the government. Now, I want to clarify on the fact that he did say you have the right to protest, you have the right to go out there and, you know, show your dissatisfaction when it comes to the police. But when you're engaging with police, you should keep it at the back of your mind that the law protects them. The law provides for them to use force if their lives are in imminent danger in any way. So if you're protesting, you're within your right, but you must do it lawfully so that you don't find yourselves in situations where you cannot even, where you cannot comprehend what is actually happening, and then you start blaming each and every person just out of emotions. But the law is very clear. Stay away from police. If you must engage with them, you keep it in your mind that if they use force, it's because their lives have been threatened. Well, that's all I had for you this morning on Twitter Jabs 1. Coming up is our views with the ladies, and the conversation we're having today is patience vis-a-vis wasting your time. This is Sunrise at Sea. Don't blink.